Hello and welcome to our presentation on using Google Sites to present a student digital portfolio. What I'd like to start with, however, is our mandate from the Maine Department of Education to basically shift the way that we're teaching towards proficiency-based learning, implying that we're also going to have accountability measures in place where we expect as community stakeholders, as stakeholders in the education of our children, that we can see exactly what it is that they have done to achieve a particular rating or level within a 1, 2, 3, 4 system. So you can spend a lot of time researching that. That's really not what the video is about, but it's what it's consequent to. We're going to be looking at Google Sites and how they can be used to provide this evidence. This evidence will be presented in a fun and creative way by yourself and the student to build an archive that can point to clear reasons as to why a student is where they're at, and can also answer those questions, formative questions that can lead students along the way to success. If you look at this site here, this is electricportfolios.org. It's a nice collection of information by Dr. Helen Barrett. She does research in electronic portfolios, among other things. She's part of different international consortiums. As you can see from this website, this is an international undertaking. It's not only in the United States, not only in Maine, but it's all around the world that people are considering shifting towards evidence-based learning of one form or another. There is all sort of, in this regard, research that's starting to come out. And you can go check her website if you want to. It's electronicportfolios.com. You can look at some of the research to kind of get your head around some of these concepts of e-portfolios or digital portfolios. Well, let's just go to the main point for this video, and that's how to get started with this Google Sites thing and use them for digital portfolios for students. Well, whenever you go to sites.google.com, you will come up to a login screen if you're not already logged in with your Auburn School Department email. If you're not, you'll log in via your Auburn School Department email, and then you will come to a screen that enables you to create a Google site. You can see I already have Google Sites, and I've already clicked Create. And that will take you to this kind of screen right here, where the default is a blank template. I'm going to suggest to browse for more. And if you go to Public and search under Portfolio, you can bring up the Student ePortfolio template. This is the one that I prefer if you're going to have students in particular use this portfolio for all of their classes. You can choose other templates or just go with the blank template. This is the one I'm going to present with here now. So I'm going to select that template. I'm going to go Select down here. I'm going to name this site Jane Doe. Jane Doe is one of my students. I want to get her started with her template. Get her started with her digital portfolio. I'm going to click Create. Takes a little while to create the page. And once it creates the page, you're in this page. It says the name of the student, in this case Jane Doe, because that's why I named it. It has all this other information that doesn't necessarily pertain to the student. And what I will typically do is I'll have the student go back and edit this information. The student can go and edit things. For example, if they want to go to this page, 7th grade, they can, if they're in 11th grade, they could go and click Edit Page and change that to 11th grade. I'll save that. For example, there's 2 different levels to this, if you will, for this portfolio format. You don't have to follow any prescribed format. This is just one I kind of go towards. There's the e-portfolio part, which will hold everything, and then a showcase part where they'll move things maybe in and out of the showcase depending on what they want to highlight about themselves. So if you notice one thing here, it shows the e-portfolio and the showcase both have the same classes. Let's just suppose that this student, Jane Doe, also has a technology class that's different apart from these other classes, and she wants to add it. She can go add page at the top, and she can call that technology, and put it under, and choose a different location, and put it under ePortfolio. Click Create. Now she'll have a technology page under the ePortfolio. We can save that. She can edit that later. But under the showcase, she needs a technology page as well. So she can possibly showcase something from her technology class. Click New Page. Again, we'll call it Technology. Again, we'll click choose a different location. This time we're going to select the showcase and create. And now her technology course, she can have portfolio, documents and so forth put in here, and articles or whatever she wants to put in there, and she has it also available in the showcase. Okay, and we'll just save that page as well. All right, well, how do you get this page that you've created to Jane Doe? Well, you can share the page. You can share the page over here just via the share if it was somebody outside of our domain, but you can also just search in the Google Sites. You can search the sites from Auburn School or just browse sites, and you can find them that way. So I prefer to coordinate this type of digital portfolio along with Google Classroom, which you can create a Google Classroom. Here's an example of a Google Classroom page. It does a lot of the management of documents for you, and you can coordinate the Google Classroom only with the Auburn School Department emails. To get the Auburn School Department emails, you can just basically know the name of the student, the first name, because if you look at the format for the Auburn School Department emails, it's the first 4 letters of their first name, and then the 5 numbers that are found in their, you can find it in PowerSchool. It's associated with them, student number, and it's this 5-digit student number, and that becomes the 5 digits that's after the first 4 digits of their first name. And then it's at auburnschool.edu. You can also share things directly with them by putting in their emails. So if you wanted to go and, for example, click the share over here, you have an opportunity to go and invite that person. I'm just going to put the generic Jane Doe. There's the 4 letters, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is not going to work because it's not a real student, but at auburnschool.edu. And then you give them edit rights and you send it out. Okay, it's also default that everybody at Auburn School Department can find and edit this. So that's where I will also change. I'll say that people at Auburn School Department with the link can access that. I don't have necessarily that everybody can just go find it and edit it. Or I can just share it with specific people. It could just be myself and the student and no one else. So you can really change the scope of how this is available. Definitely wouldn't choose public on the web. I wouldn't put anyone with the link. It's a little safer just to stay within Auburn School Department. I would say it was specific people. And then that way, Uh, it's private only. I can access, but then I can go and add over here Jane. Of course, it's not a real student, but I click send, and then she would get this would show up in her Google Sites when she goes to it. She'll also get an email at her email account.